Whedon. It was, wow, what is it like with Serenity and not Buffy? Okay. Nobody ever asked.
Well, I love both of them, but Serenity kind of pulls ahead for me.
It's funny, and I don't want to get too technical, but Serenity and Buffy have two contractually different obligations. So working with them is actually very different. Joss doesn't have as much proprietorship over Buffy as he does Serenity. So it was a little more intimate on Serenity because he actually owns, if you'll notice, Serenity or Firefly, the TV show was on Fox. If you'll notice, the movie was actually a Universal film. So it was more of Joss's control to say, I can take this property and take it wherever I want. So there was a little more intimacy with Serenity. With Buffy, I honestly believe Joss only really came back and did a season 8, 9, and all of that because he missed this world, and he thought the best way he could circumvent studios and movies and actors and production and all of that stuff was his lifelong passion was comics as well. So he felt, you know what, I want to do this in comics, and said early on, this will be season 8, and started a trend because now it seems everybody's doing their TV version or movie version of a comic book carrying the story forward. But on Serenity, Joss's brother, Zach Whedon, who never actually wrote for any of the TV shows, came in, and I can only imagine the conversation there where Zach goes over to Joss's house and says, hey, I'd love to do some more stuff. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, Serenity, it sounds good. Sure, you want to? Sure. Yeah, well, let's talk about an idea. So it was that easy in a sense. It wasn't like, oh, well, this is a high-profile property. We have to go through legal and do this. It was like, no, it's just two brothers getting together at the house one night and saying, hey, you want to do some more stuff? Sure thing, we can do some more stuff. So from at that point, too, because I'd been on Buffy for 7 years, and Joss is great. He's a great guy, and he's very giving. At that point, season 9 was coming to an end, and he was like, well, do you want to stay on it? And I was like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I kind of got other commitments now. And he kind of had this little movie they were doing, and he was off to film it. And, it supposedly was going to be a big deal, and it was going to be Marvel superheroes, and it was going to go somewhere. And he's like, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time anymore to do this because I'm going to be filming this movie. And I said to him, well, I would stay on it if you stayed on it. But if you don't, I think 7 years, that's a good time to kind of keep going. He's like, well, I've got Serenity. Do you just want to leave, or would you like to just kind of move over? And I was like, well, no, I love Serenity too. I love the idea of sort of a space cowboy or that, mythology and all of that. So he said, yeah, if you want to come over, my brother and I, we did a script. We're going to get it going. And this will be the first time anybody's going to really read stuff that happened after the movie, which was a big deal because, of course, if you saw the movie, you realize, what an ending it was, how it opened up to a particular future. So it was that easy, believe it or not. I was already approved by Dark Horse to do Buffy, so since it was a Joss Whedon project, I didn't have to go through any approval. I did have to draw Mal a couple of times, just so that they could say, here, yeah, he actually did draw some stuff, but it was really a formality. If Joss said, I want him, then that's pretty much what the higher-ups would be like, oh, okay, well, if Joss said it's okay, whatever, we don't know the guy, so do it.